Today I'm going to talk about what is cryptocurrency and why you should care about it. I'm going to tailor it more towards IT professionals because, as I understand, there's a lot of IT professionals in this community. So we're going to walk through, I guess, exactly what's going on in this space because there's a lot of noise. And I'm going to tie it back more practically to how IT professionals can take advantage of this ever-changing technology. But I wanted to start with a story, and this story is where I've actually arrived, where I am today. I'm in Thailand, Phuket. It's my first time here, and I arrived last week. And when I arrived at the airport, it was complete chaos. I had no idea what to do. I had no idea where I was. Everything was in another language. I couldn't understand it. No one would help me. I got through immigration finally. I thought I was going to get sent back because I thought I was in the wrong line. I went to get money out because I had the wrong currency. I put my card in the ATM. It swallowed the card, so I didn't have any money. I didn't have a card. It was late at night. It was complete chaos. And my heart sort of sank. I felt sick in the stomach. I was just super confused. And I just sort of wanted to pack up and go home, to be honest. And this is, I say this story because it's a very similar feeling to how I first felt when I got into cryptocurrency about 6 or 7 years ago. It's a feeling of a new environment where you don't really know anyone, you don't know the language they're talking about, you've got no idea what's going on. And this is really similar to a lot of people when they get into crypto, or they try and put their foot in, or they see what's going on in the crypto world. And it is very hard to understand what's going on. So I'm going to really try and break down everything that's going on, not only in cryptocurrency, there's things like Web3, NFTs, blockchain, there's so much going on. I'm really going to break it down and give you, I guess, a balanced opinion and cut through the noise and give you really the facts. So today, three key things you're going to walk away with. One, what is cryptocurrency? What are NFTs? And some investing strategies for you. And we're going to tie that back to the IT profession as well. So who on earth am I? I'm Australian. I am the founder of a company called Collective Shift. We're a crypto research and education company. I've done a TEDx talk on cryptocurrency. I really love explaining this space in simple terms so everyone can understand. We have over 6,000 investors globally that subscribe for research and analysis on Collective Shift. We have a team of 12, and I've been through a lot. I've learned a lot about crypto. I've done a lot of things wrong and done a lot of things right, and now I can share those lessons back to everyone and when I do these talks. So we work with a lot of the leading brands across the world with their crypto strategy, whether it be the Australian Open, TEDx, the Financial Review, Monash University, CNBC, Fox. There's so many different brands we work with because it is hard to navigate this space. So there's not many people out there that can help individuals and brands navigate it. So really excited to help. So there's obviously a lot of people saying different things about cryptocurrency. Some are really excited about it. Some are not so excited about it. Some people think it's a scam. Some people think it's, just digital money used for drugs. There's a lot of different things that people think about cryptocurrency. And the media don't help that. The media tend to talk a lot about this space in a pretty negative light. And I think that's because it's a new technology. Not a lot of people really understand it. And there's been a lot of, poor stories that have come out, especially over the last 12 months, when there's been individuals doing bad things in the cryptocurrency space. So the technology isn't bad, but there's been people that have done bad things in the space, whether it be, for some of you that might be in the cryptocurrency industry, FTX last year was a major cryptocurrency exchange. The founder was basically committing fraud and he lost a lot of people a lot of money. It's important to separate those people from the actual technology. The technology itself hasn't changed, but some of the people in the space have done some bad things, which is really unfortunate. But first of all, what on earth is cryptocurrency? Well, cryptocurrency is just a token or a digital token that allows me to transfer or trade something without the need of a middle person. So I can transfer currency without the need of a bank. I can transfer data without the need of Dropbox or Google Drive. I can transfer or listen to music without Spotify. I can listen to movies or watch movies without Netflix. It allows me to do this peer-to-peer without the need of a middle person. And there's a couple of main types of cryptocurrencies. One is a currency token, and the other one is a utility token. You can transfer different things using cryptocurrency. It doesn't always need to be currency. It can also be data, as I spoke about. But the first real main currency token as a cryptocurrency is Bitcoin. You've probably heard about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the best way to think about Bitcoin is a US dollar equivalent or an Australian dollar equivalent. equivalent. It's just another currency, only digital. You can't feel it or touch it. Now, it has two main value propositions. One is a payments system, so I can send it and use it as a payment. And there's places here in Thailand where I can use my Bitcoin to pay for certain goods. And it's also a store of value. And the reason it's a store of value is it's very similar to gold. Gold is a store of value because it can be used to make nice things, and it's also a limited supply asset. There's only a limited supply of gold. And that's the same with Bitcoin. There's only a limited amount of Bitcoin that will ever be made. There'll only be 21 million Bitcoin ever created in existence, and that's hard coded into the software. Now, why Bitcoin has become so popular over the last few years is because of inflation. As you've probably witnessed, where you're living at the moment, the cost of living is going up. That's because of inflation at a simple level. Because of COVID and a lot of other different things, the government have had to print lots and lots of money into the ecosystem, which has lifted the prices of everything. And unfortunately, wages haven't really grown either. So Bitcoin is a hedge against that, because it is what's called a deflationary currency. There's only a limited supply, where normal currency, the money we use every day, is inflationary because they can print more and more. So as you increase supply, what that's worth and what its power of purchasing goes down. And that's the opposite of Bitcoin, because there's only going to be 21 million ever made, and currently there's around 16 million in existence. The next one is Ethereum. And now this is the other main type of cryptocurrency. It's called a utility token. And Ethereum is basically building the Internet App Store. So the App Store right now, if you think about Google, Android, are owned by Google and Android. Ethereum, on the other hand, is not owned by anyone. There is no middle person. It's a piece of technology that lives in the cloud that anyone can use without the need of a middle person. And Ethereum's main source or main value proposition is this thing called smart contract. So a smart contract allows you to code something into a program without the need of someone enacting that code. So a really basic example is a vending machine. When you go to a vending machine and you press the button to get a Powerade or a Coca-Cola, it looks in the back end of the vending machine to make sure there's inventory. If there's inventory and there's a Coke available, it'll now dispense that Coke, and it'll mark in the back end that there's no more Coke, and then I won't allow you to do it again. And that's all done autonomously without anyone doing that. It's like a machine doing that. Now think about Ethereum as doing that analogy of the vending machine, but on a global scale. And one of those global use cases is a thing called DeFi, or decentralized finance. So decentralized finance allows you to take out loans and earn interest on your money without the need of a bank. So right now, when we want to take out a loan to get a mortgage, we have to go to the bank. The bank gives us that money, and all the interest we pay goes to the bank. With DeFi, it pairs two individuals or companies, one that wants to loan money and one that wants to save money, and it connects the two together using code. And all the interest fees stay within the network. It doesn't go to the bank. So you can earn more on your savings and you can pay less on your loans. That's the most exciting thing about Ethereum. Quickly, NFTs. You've probably heard about NFTs. NFTs stand for non-fungible tokens. They're just another form of digital ownership. So it allows you to own something digitally that's recorded on the blockchain. An example here is like the Mona Lisa. So one thing that you can do with art on NFTs is you can basically earn a fee every time that art is bought and sold, because always the ownership is always traced back to you. So if the Mona Lisa was an NFT, every time that painting was sold over the course of history, the original artist could actually earn a royalty. They could earn like 5-10% of every time the transaction happened. That's the same with memberships or ticketing. Whatever you want to use your NFTs for, you can actually earn a percentage of that. So let's just say you built a car. Every time that car is bought and sold for all the future owners forever, that car owner or the original creator could earn a reward every time. Another one is collectibles and memberships. So Asprey Bugatti, the famous car brand, recently created their own NFT, which gives you access to different Bugatti collectibles and merchandise, and also cheaper cars. One actually sold for $460,000, which is a lot of money for an NFT. Now, what is Web3? Web3 kind of encompasses everything to do with NFTs and cryptocurrency and the metaverse. And the real difference here is Web2 is like when we use Facebook and Google. We have an account, we log in, and Facebook and Google hold that data. Web3 is when we own the data. We are the identity and we control everything, and we can own those assets ourselves and take them different places. It's not giving all those assets and data to a company like Facebook or Google. Okay, so you might be thinking you want to invest. How do you do that? What's the strategy you should use? Well, it all is different for the individual, but there's two main types of strategies. On the left-hand side is our beginner strategy. So if you're just new to crypto, I would highly recommend just starting out with Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is because a lot of the lower cryptocurrencies, they are very risky, they are very volatile, and they do fluctuate a lot, and some of them aren't very good. So I'd highly recommend just starting out with Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you're more advanced, I'd recommend diversifying a little bit more. So still holding predominantly Bitcoin and Ethereum, but then having things like data management, DeFi, NFTs, gaming, and having a small percentage of your portfolio in each one so you can sort of diversify. That's going to give you the best setup for success over time as the markets change. It's always good to be diversified. Where are we in the markets right now? Well, the prices have rebounded quite considerably at the start of this year. So Bitcoin's currently sitting at around $24,600 which is up from around 16,000 late last year. There's a lot of big firms committed to crypto and Web3, including BlackRock, Fidelity, BNY Mellon. A lot of the US-based companies are offering crypto to a lot of the US banks are starting to offer crypto to their clients because they know it's something that a lot of investors want to get hold of. A lot of consumer brands as well are rolling out their crypto and Web3 programs. Like I mentioned, Bugatti. There's a lot of regulation coming to the space as well because we're still figuring out how to navigate the crypto markets. But I think 2023 is a great time to start to accumulate and get exposure to this asset class. It's a really amazing time to get involved because we predict over the next few years, Bitcoin and the crypto market is going to scale into a multi-trillion-dollar market cap. And you can see here, this is a research report done by a leading research firm called ARK Invest. In their bearish case, they're predicting Bitcoin will reach $250,000 per Bitcoin by 2030. That's a 10x from here. And the reason they've given that prediction is the different use cases that Bitcoin can actually penetrate. It's not just a potential replacement for gold. It can also be looked as an institutional investment, corporate treasury, finance and remittance, high net worth investors diversifying into this asset class. There's so much opportunity for Bitcoin to grow as a global investment class that we really haven't even scratched the surface. That's why I'm super excited about where we're going in the space. Another really cool trend that's happening in crypto right now is gaming. Gaming is a massive industry. Gaming is actually bigger than music and movies industry combined. This is, real world games like Call of Duty and, NBA 2K23, or it might be computer games. There is a lot of money being built in crypto gaming right now because games are a great use for the blockchain. Rather than if you play, say, Call of Duty or a basketball game, once you finish that game, all of your character and your reward points stay in the game. With crypto gaming, you can actually withdraw that token and you can use it to buy and sell. So let's say you've spent, hours and hours and hours, days and days building up your character, upgrading it on Fortnite, you're doing all this stuff. Now, there's not much you can do with it. But in a cryptocurrency world, you could actually take that character and maybe sell it to someone who wants to fast track their way to get to that character, or you can move that character between games. Back to the idea of owning your assets. And what does all this mean for IT professionals? Well, blockchains are revolutionizing the way we store data. Blockchains allow us to develop more trust. They have transparency. They're immutable, and the security is amazing. Now, blockchains isn't for everything. They are quite slow. They're high in fees. So blockchains shouldn't be used for everything. And people that tell you blockchain is the future are right in one aspect, but it definitely won't change everything. There's $6 billion worth of investments going into blockchain related investments from major companies. And I'm not sure if you can see this too much, but there's names like Alphabet, BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, Samsung, Goldman Sachs, PayPal, Microsoft, Commonwealth Bank, LG, Wells Fargo. All of these companies are investing so heavily into this blockchain space. There's different ways blockchains can also be applied. There's different types of blockchains. You might want a private blockchain like Hyperledger for internal use. This could be used for different data storage inside a big company. You could want a mixed one that's public and private like Hedera, or a public blockchain that has open systems that anyone can access. There's also really fast growing blockchain programming languages. The most popular is Solidity. That is an Ethereum based coding language. So if you want to build smart contracts and build on Ethereum, like those DeFi examples or crypto gaming, Solidity is the programming language that I recommend you checking out.